Let me tell you something straight. Life doesn't care how you feel. The world doesn't pause because you're tired, scared, or overwhelmed. You can sit there and cry about your situation, or you can stand up, clench your fists, and decide you're gonna be unfazed. Not because life got easier, but because you got harder. This speech is not about motivation. Motivation dies when you're cold, broken, and bleeding. This is about mindset. This is about going so deep into your pain that you find your power. This is about learning how to suffer and not flinch, to be unfazed when the storm hits, to stare hell in the face and smile. Embrace the storm. Fear is a liar. Most people live their entire lives avoiding storms. They want sunshine, calm seas, smooth terrain. They want guarantees, comfort, and certainty, but nothing about growth lives in safety. Growth happens inside the storm. The storm is where the truth reveals itself. It strips you down, breaks your excuses, and shows you who the hell you really are. You've been told to stay away from pain, conditioned to believe that discomfort is danger, that fear is a warning to back off. But that's a lie. Fear is not your enemy, it's your compass. Fear shows you where your edge is, and your edge, that's where the game is played. You think champions are born in peace. They're born in the chaos. In the silence of pain, in the fog of doubt, that's where warriors are forged. You've got to rewire your brain. Most people feel fear and freeze. They let it dictate their decisions. They see the storm and turn the hell around. But you, if you want to become something different, something unshakable, you run straight into the storm. You stop waiting for courage. You stop waiting for the right time. You stop waiting for the fear to disappear. It never will. That's not how this works. Let me make this real for you. There will be moments in your life when everything breaks. You'll lose people. You'll fail in front of crowds. You'll be betrayed. You'll be broke. You'll be tired. And in that moment, fear is going to creep into your system like a disease. It'll whisper that it's too late, that you're not ready, that this isn't for you. And that moment right there, that decision point, is everything. You either believe the lie or you prove it wrong. You've got to learn to fight fire with fire. When fear shows up, you don't retreat, you advance. You look at fear like it owes you money. You chase it down. You lean into the very thing that terrifies you. You want to be confident. You want to be free. Stop negotiating with fear. Start hunting it. You think bravery is something you're born with? No. Bravery is built by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations over and over again until your tolerance for fear becomes greater than most people's tolerance for safety. It's not about being fearless. It's about being scared to death and doing it anyway. You've got to become dangerous not to other people, but to the fear that controls them. When fear looks at you, it should remember pain. It should remember the time it tried to break you and you smiled back with blood in your teeth. That's the mindset. That's the fire you need. Be the kind of person who gets stronger when it rains. Be the one who builds muscle in the storm while others look for shelter. You don't learn anything hiding behind excuses. You don't grow when things are easy. You don't evolve in the light, you evolve in the dark. So go to war with your fear. Study it. Chase it. Break it. Fear is a liar, but it's a clever one. It wears the disguise of logic, self-preservation, being smart. But smart never built greatness. Smart never created change. Smart never made history. Don't be smart, be savage. That fear that's paralyzing you, that's the signal, that's the map, that's the invitation to level up. Every single time you feel afraid, understand this. You're closer to transformation than you've ever been. All you have to do is take one more step into the unknown. The people who become legends are not fearless. They're just addicted to chasing down what they used to run from. And when you do this long enough, when you start embracing the fear, the pain, the doubt, the chaos, you become something no one can predict. You become the storm. So next time fear shows up, don't blink, don't breathe, don't run, embrace the storm. Fear is a liar, and you were built to expose it. Mental dominance over physical pain is the gatekeeper. It's the wall between who you are and who you could be. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. Most people quit the moment pain shows up. Not because they're weak in the body, but because they've never trained their minds to fight back. They fold under pressure. They tap out when it starts to burn. They confuse discomfort with danger. But pain is the proving ground, pain is the test, and most of you are failing it. You've been told to listen to your body, to rest when it hurts, to slow down. That's exactly why you're stuck. That's exactly why the same demons keep winning. The body is a liar. It will scream at you to stop long before your tank is empty. Your body says quit, but your mind is limitless if you train it. Mental dominance starts when you decide that your mind is the commander and your body is the soldier. No debate, no negotiation. When your lungs burn, when your legs cramp, when the sweat blinds your vision, you don't ask your body how it feels, you tell it what the mission is. And the mission is always this: keep going. You want to separate yourself from the average, you have to do what they won't. Most people hit the wall and walk away, but you lean into it. You press your forehead against that wall and you push. You scream through the silence, you claw forward, you suffer with intention. Pain is not your punishment, it's your permission. Permission to grow. Permission to rise, that sharp burn in your muscles, that throb in your knees, that pounding in your chest. That's your evolution. That's you stepping into your higher form. And if you walk away from it, you walk away from greatness. You've got to stop living soft. Too many people are living inside this false comfort zone, warm bed, easy routine, everything dialed in. But deep inside, they know the truth. They're dying slowly. They're getting weaker by the day. Comfort is the enemy, and pain is the truth serum. It exposes your limits. It makes the invisible visible. It shows you the gap between your potential and your current level. So stop treating pain like a problem. Treat it like a partner. There's a part of your brain that doesn't give a damn about pain. That part is primal. That part was built to survive, to conquer, to overcome, but that part has been silenced by years of softness, by people telling you to be careful, to take it easy. That part needs to be reawakened. And you do that by going to war with your body over and over again. I'm not saying destroy yourself for no reason. I'm saying build yourself through strategic suffering. Put yourself in situations where quitting is the easy option, then don't quit. Stay in the fire, hold the weight, feel your lungs screaming and don't back down. That's where the shift happens. That's where your mind learns that it controls the body, not the other way around. You want to be unbreakable. Train your mind to override the signals. That's the real flex. Not how much weight you lift, not how fast you run, but how deep you can go into pain without flinching. That's mental dominance. That's ownership. You've got to earn the right to push past the barrier. You've got to suffer more than the average person is willing to even imagine. While others are sleeping, you're grinding. While others complain, you stay quiet and bleed. Not because you like pain, but because pain is the gateway to a version of you that doesn't exist yet. You become mentally dominant by refusing to stop. Not when it's easy, not when it's convenient. But when everything in you is screaming to sit down, you stand up, because you made a decision that no matter what happens, you own this battlefield. So when your body says, I can't, you reply, watch me. When your body says, we're done, you say, we've just begun. You don't listen to the body, you command it, you override it, you dominate it, and in that dominance you discover your freedom. That's how you become unstoppable. That's how you become dangerous. That's how you become unfazed. Control the voice inside your head. The most dangerous enemy you'll ever face doesn't live outside. It lives inside. It's not the people who doubted you. It's not the pain in your body. It's not the failures on your record. It's that quiet voice in your head, the one that whispers when you're tired, when you're hurting, when you're alone. That voice is the killer of dreams. That voice is the anchor that drags you back to average. And most people, they don't even fight it, they believe it. You can be strong as hell, fast, disciplined, but if your mind belongs to doubt, you'll always lose. You've got to take ownership of that internal dialogue. You've got to step up and become the commander of your mind, because if you don't, that voice will win. Every time, that voice will tell you you're not good enough, that you're too old, too broken, too late. It'll remind you of every mistake you ever made, and it will do everything in its power to convince you to quit. And it's smart, it won't scream. It whispers. It comes at you when you're at your weakest, when your guard is down, when the lights are off and no one's clapping. And if you're not ready, it owns you. You've got to build your counter voice. You've got to create a mental monster that eats excuses and spits out truth. When the voice says you can't, your response is simple: I already did. When it says you're tired, you say good, now we grow. When it says no one's watching, you say exactly, time to separate. That voice in your head isn't going away, but you can outwork it, you can out-suffer it, you can outlast it, you control the narrative. And you do that by stacking proof. Day after day, rep after rep, mile after mile, you build a resume of savagery that silences that voice. Because here's the truth, the voice only wins when there's evidence to support it. If you're skipping reps, quitting early, avoiding the hard things, that voice has leverage. But when you do the work, when you run toward the fire, when you suffer on purpose, the voice loses power. It has nothing to stand on. You've got to get aggressive with your mind. Don't be polite, don't be soft, go to war with it. Challenge every thought that tells you to stop. Interrupt every pattern of weakness. Turn your mind into a battlefield where weakness doesn't survive, where every excuse is hunted down and destroyed before it even forms. The greats don't think like the average. They've trained their minds like a weapon. They've rewired their thought process so that pain equals progress, fear equals opportunity, and failure equals fuel. You want to rise, you've got to install that mindset, and you've got to install it through suffering. When the voice says, "What's the point?" you remind it that warriors don't need a reason. When it says, "This is too much," you laugh because that's exactly why you're doing it. You are not here for easy. You are here for evolution, and that only comes when the voice in your head is your servant, not your master. It takes time, it takes reps, it takes blood, but if you stay in the fire long enough, if you suffer long enough, that voice changes. It starts to shift from doubt to belief, from fear to focus, from hesitation to hunger. You don't wait to feel ready, you make yourself ready through action. And here's the key, no one's coming to save you. No therapist, no coach, no motivation video will fix that voice for you. You have to get in the ring, you have to face it, you have to fight it again and again and again until it fears you. Until your mind becomes a fortress and that weak voice gets drowned out by the sound of your work ethic. There will always be noise. There will always be resistance, but once you learn how to master your own mind, you become unstoppable. You stop reacting to life and start controlling it. So shut the world out, turn inward, confront the voice and make it listen to you. Control your mind or your mind will control you. That's the truth. And only one of you walks away a winner. Up next. Be your own rescue plan. No one is coming. Let that sink in. Let it hit you where it hurts because it should. For too long you've been waiting on someone to recognize your potential. Waiting for a mentor to show you the way, waiting for support, for applause, for understanding, waiting for someone to care enough to pull you out of the hole you're in. But guess what? The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. You want to be free, you want to level up, then stop looking around. Stop refreshing your notifications hoping someone gives you the green light. You've had the green light since the day you were born. You've just been too scared to hit the gas. Let me be brutally honest with you. If you're depending on someone else to save you, you're already dead. If you're waiting for someone to knock on your door and hand you discipline, confidence, power, you'll wait forever. Because the truth is, it's always been on you. You are the only rescue plan you need. You have to become your own savior, your own fire, your own fight. When the alarms go off in your life, when the walls are closing in, when your back's against it, you better not reach for a lifeline. You better stand up, grit your teeth, and dig yourself out with your own damn hands. No one understands the war you're fighting like you do. They don't feel your pain, they don't carry your scars, so how the hell could they save you? They can't, that's your job, and the longer you avoid it, the longer you wear the chains of dependence, weakness, and excuses. You want to become elite, then stop outsourcing your strength. Stop acting like your growth is someone else's responsibility. No one's going to drag you to greatness. You have to crawl there on your own, bleeding, broken, angry, hungry. That's how you earn your edge. You know what separates beasts from the rest. They don't wait for direction, they create it. They don't cry about being alone, they thrive in it. Solitude doesn't scare them, it sharpens them, because they know being alone doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're becoming a weapon. So when life turns its back on you, when the phone doesn't ring, when the support vanishes, good. Now it's your time to prove what you're made of. Time to become the kind of person who looks in the mirror and says, I don't need you, I've got me. And no, it's not going to be easy, it's going to be hell. You'll question everything, you'll feel the weight of the world on your chest, but every time you get up on your own, you build something money can't buy: self-respect, confidence that can't be shaken, power that can't be gifted, only earned. So train your mind to stop expecting a handout. Train your soul to stop seeking pity. No more crying for help that's never coming. You get up, you get focused, and you grind. Alone in the dark while the world sleeps, because while they wait for help, you become help. And here's the best part. Once you build yourself up from the dirt, once you create discipline where there was chaos, strength where there was weakness, control where there was addiction, no one can ever take that from you. You become untouchable, you become unbreakable. You want freedom, then pay for it with sacrifice. You want greatness, then bleed for it with solitude. You want a rescue, then rescue your damn self. Become the hero of your own life. No cape, no crowd, just scars and scars and scars, and a grin that says, I didn't need anyone. I did this. That's real power. So stop waiting for approval. Stop looking for saviors. There are none. And that's the good news. Because the moment you accept that, you take back control. You stop being a victim and you become a force. No one's coming, but you are, and that's more than enough. Leave blood on the ground, not excuses. Here's the truth. You either leave blood on the ground or you leave excuses. One is earned, the other is inherited, and every damn day you're making that choice. You say you want it, you say you're hungry, but when it gets hard, when the world pushes back, when your body starts screaming, do you rise or do you reach for an excuse? Most people choose comfort. Most people choose the easy way out. Most people would rather explain their failure than earn their victory, but not you. You're here to be something different, something rare. You're here to become someone who leaves nothing behind. Someone who doesn't just talk about effort, they bleed for it. Because at the end of the day, your excuses don't mean a damn thing. They don't build legacy. They don't write history. You can have results, or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. You want to change your life, you want to level up, then you need to shift your mindset from what can I get away with to how far can I go before I break. Because that's where greatness lives, right on the edge of collapse, in the deep end of suffering, where most people tap out. You don't earn pride through convenience. You don't build resilience by avoiding the hard stuff. You build it when the alarm goes off at 4 a.m. and you rise while the world sleeps. You build it when the workout burns and you keep going. When your legs are failing but you choose another rep. When your lungs are on fire and your soul says one more. That's when blood hits the ground. That's when something real is built. Look around. Everyone's got an excuse. I'm tired. I've been through too much. I don't have time. You think you're special because you're suffering. You think your pain is unique. Every savage, every warrior, every champion has a story filled with pain. The difference is they didn't let the pain write the ending. They used it as fuel. They used it as a reason to go harder, to prove they were more than the circumstances. That's the mentality you need. No excuse survives in your presence. No weakness is welcomed in your house. You want it. You earn it with blood, with sweat, with your will. The greatest people on the planet weren't handed their greatness. They were handed pain, and they flipped it. They turned heartbreak into hunger, doubt into discipline, struggle into strength, and you've got the same option. You can sit around telling people why it didn't work out, or you can show them the scars and say, this is the price of becoming a savage. You know what it takes. You felt that voice inside say quit. You've had moments where your body begged you to stop. But did you, or did you stay in it? Did you keep swinging when your arms were dead? Did you keep grinding when no one watched? Did you show up when no one clapped? That's where champions are born, not on game day, not under the lights in the dark. Alone, bleeding, and when it's all said and done, the question is simple. Did you leave excuses or blood? Because your life, your body, your mind, your relationships, your business, it all reflects what you've been willing to sacrifice. You don't get strength without struggle. You don't get respect without effort. You don't get victory without pain. So stop talking, stop whining, stop explaining why you haven't made it. That's noise. That's weakness looking for a microphone. You know what the world respects. Proof, blood is proof. Blood is earned. You leave it behind every time you run toward the pain. Every time you show up when it's hard. Every time you conquer one more rep, one more mile, one more minute in hell. So next time you think about quitting, remember this. Someone out there is grinding while you're deciding. Someone out there is bleeding while you're making an excuse. Someone out there will take what you say you want because they're willing to do what you refuse to. Be the one who leaves blood. Be the one who never blinks. Be the one who looks back one day, proud as hell, because you never let an excuse speak louder than your actions. This is your war. This is your path. Leave blood on the ground, not excuses. Be unfazed, walk through hell like you own it. Now you've heard the truth, not sugar-coated, not dressed up, not easy to swallow, but real, raw, ruthless. The world is not here to hand you a damn thing. It will test you. It will try to bury you. It will throw fear in your face, pain in your chest, doubt in your mind, and loneliness in your soul. And in those moments, the weak ones crumble, but you're not here to crumble. You're not here to ask for less pressure. You're here to build more strength. You've been told to be careful, to slow down, to protect your peace. But peace doesn't build warriors. War does, struggle does, fire does. And if you've got the courage to step into it, to face your pain, your fear, your limits, and not flinch, then there's nothing this world can throw at you that you can't crush. You've learned now. Fear is a liar. You embrace the storm. Pain is not your limit. You dominate your body with your mind. The voice in your head isn't the truth. You command that voice. No one is coming. You are your own rescue. And at the end of every day, the only question that matters is, did you leave blood on the ground or excuses? This life is not for the soft, not for the timid, not for those waiting for applause. This life is for the relentless. For the few who wake up every day, spit in the face of mediocrity, and go to war with themselves. Not because they want a trophy, but because they refuse to stay ordinary. Be unfazed. Let the storm come. Let the world doubt you. Let the pain hit. Let the weight crush your shoulders, and then show them who the hell you are. Not with words, not with noise, but with action, with grind, with grit, with scars. The goal isn't to survive life. The goal is to dominate it. So from this day forward, walk like you're built different. Think like you're unstoppable. Move like you've already won the war, and whatever you do, never blink, never bow, never break, because you were built for this. You were built to be unfazed.